Canada recently announced a new immigration initiative aimed at attracting H1B US visa holders. As part of their tech talent strategy, the Canadian government is going to offer open work permit for all of the H1B visa holders as long as they're working for a Canadian employer. This has generated a lot of interest and speculation amongst a lot of people. So let's understand what it actually is, what its implications are, and what are the challenges it might face. And if you're new today, I am Priya from It's Ok Yaar, and It's Ok Yaar is a content platform for South Asian immigrants, and we aim to educate, entertain, and empower them. So what is it? As part of Canada's tech talent strategy, the Canadian minister revealed its plan to allow 10,000 H1B visa holders to work for a Canadian employer. This permit is also going to extend to their family members as well as spouse, and they will be able to study and work in Canada. The one piece of information that I would like to clarify is for you to be eligible to get these benefits, you'll actually have to move to Canada. So for example, if you are an H1B visa holder and your spouse is on H4, then for your spouse to be able to work, they have to actually be in Canada to get the benefits of this. The program is going to commence on July 16th, 2023, and approved applicants are going to get a 3-year open work permit, which will allow them to work for any employer across Canada, thus providing them more opportunities as well as flexibility across different employers. While this might all sound like great news and it's definitely an interesting step in the right direction, there are definitely some potential challenges that I would like to discuss. The first one is lower salaries in Canada. Most of the salaries in Canada are lower when compared to the US. However, the purchasing power can be debatable. For example, in the US, the healthcare is often the most expensive, whereas Canadian healthcare is oftentimes free. The second one is only 10,000 visas are available. And it will be interesting to see how this initiative works once it opens on July 16, 2023. The program is going to remain in effect for 1 year or till 10,000 applications are achieved, whichever is the earliest. The third and the biggest one is, does Canada have enough jobs for skilled immigrants? A major theme that we have noticed in the last couple of years is that a lot of people who end up moving to Canada really struggle to find the right opportunities for themselves. It kind of makes sense because a lot of these multinational companies or big IT firms are usually based in the US and have that infrastructure in place in the US, thus creating more opportunities in the US versus Canada. So it's going to be interesting to see with this program if they're also able to create these job opportunities with Canadian employers. So what should the US do now? The US can try to reform their immigration system. However, that seems highly unlikely. Also, with this program, there are only 10,000 visas that are being offered, which is very insignificant and small compared to the number of H1B visa holders in the US. What will be interesting to follow is how this program evolves and shapes, because in its current state, this number is really small and insignificant for the US to try to change its immigration system. So now let's understand who qualifies for the new Canadian visa program. While the new Canadian visa program has garnered a lot of attention, there are still a ton of open questions around its eligibility. So according to the announcement, this is open to all the H1B visa holders in the US. However, just because someone has an H1B visa in the US doesn't mean that they have a valid H1B stamp. So we are yet to find out whether they are going to be considered for the program. However, many a times these announcements are misleading, so it will be interesting to see what happens once this program is actually rolled out. There is a ton of uncertainty around how these work permits are actually going to be allocated. While the announcement says that it's going to be allocated for the first 10,000 people who apply for this program, this might just lead to chaos considering the number of people who are eligible to apply for this program. Since the number is so small, there is a high chance that in the first couple of hours or the first day itself, this entire 10,000 visa slot can get exhausted. So it will be interesting to see if the Canadian government actually ends up using the first come first serve basis or ends up going for a lottery based system. Again, a lot of this is yet to be clarified, so watch this space as we will continue to cover and monitor what happens with the program. There is some uncertainty around the eligibility requirement. While the program recommends recommends that if your H1B visa is expiring soon, you should then apply for this program. We are yet to understand if this is just a recommendation or actually an eligibility criteria. So this program is definitely going to attract 10,000 people, and there is no doubt about that. However, a lot of the people who we are talking to and trying to understand would actually like to be in the US. So it will be interesting to see how this program shapes up. A lot of the details are actually going to be coming July 16th, 2023. And as we hear more, we will definitely be covering and bringing that news to you. So follow the space. And if you have made it this far, please consider hitting on that subscribe button. And if you like our content, hit on that like button. If things are not going your way, remember it's okay, yaar. And this is Priya signing off. Have a wonderful day.